Hiya, and welcome to Journal, the game that teaches us that you're not allowed to not have pants on while taking a shower at the school, because I am assuming something to do with Derrek. Alrighty, so, quick fact, we finished everything in Derrek's route last time, so now we get to go down a new route. At least I'm pretty sure we did. Let me double check. Yeah, let me make sure. Yeah. Alrighty. To the next route. Alrighty. Are we doing dodgeball, science club, or track? It would be science club. Yeah. Alrighty. So this is like a secret route, Zack's route, Derrek's route, Nico's route. Yeah, we're totally doing this for the science. I mean, obviously we're doing it for the science. I can't think of a single reason why we wouldn't be doing this for the science. I mean, totally not because of a hot man in that club. Totally not because of that. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't think I want to do something physical since cooking in the afternoon tires me quite a bit. Yeah, cooking after training sounds like a big no. That leaves me with the science club as the best remaining option. It doesn't sound that bad, actually. Science can be really fun with a good teacher, and Amy will be there as well, too. It will help me improve my grade as well. Well, it's decided then. I headed to the 5th floor at a fast pace. I'm a bit scared of what the teacher could say. He saw me drop Amy off, then leave. I can just say that I went to the bathroom. I arrived at the 5th floor without breaking a sweat. This floor was now devoid of life, complete and utter silence in the hall. Nice. The door of the room was open, but I still knocked on it anyway. When Amy saw me knock on the door, her eyes glittered and she waved at me. The professor didn't hear me, though. Excuse me, Dick. Someone's waiting at the door. Sorry, I forgot to do I did the wrong voice. It's Professor to you! He grunted and looked at me, frowning. He gave me a ghost of a smile. Good to see more people come here. Welcome, kid! Amy squealed. The professor turned to look at her, then narrowed his gaze on her oblivious self. You, girl, come here. We gotta investigate the results of men-to-men interactions on the nearest wolf guy. Truly a scientific endeavor. Exactly. He walked over to his desk, then patted the seat where Nico usually resides, which is right in front of him. Amy was currently sitting in the same place as she did in normal classes, last row, middle seat. But I haven't done... Nope! Zip it! Now come here before I make you noisy brat! Almost everyone in the room cowered at his thunderous command, though it was only directed towards Amy. Meanwhile, she looked ready to shit herself. That's awful. I would have laughed had I had the balls. Yes, sir! She quickly grabbed her stuff and sat where instructed, not even glancing at me. Is he even allowed to talk to his students like that? You're dialing 911? Oh no. Well, are you just going to stand there? Come in! He tried sounding enthusiastic but failed miserably. His tone was rather weird. It felt bored yet annoyed while trying to sound energetic. I'm just going to go to my window seat now. While I was walking there, I recognized a girl sitting in the exact middle of the room. It was a popular girl from yesterday that caught me staring at her friends first thing in the morning. Yikes. You're my senior class, right? I remember you. What was it again? Lucas, right? My name is Lucas, sir. I tried answering softly, hoping not to anger him. He just shrugged his shoulders. Well, welcome to the science club, kid. Hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you, sir. I smiled politely. Sorry about arriving late, it won't happen again. But well, I'm excited to start the club. I bowed my head slightly. Oh, really? You didn't even look at the chalkboard on our physics class today. Oh, I learned better by ear. I'm going to be taking my seat now. I ducked and went to my window seat. He chuckled in amusement. Alrighty then. The professor quickly explained how the club would operate. The semester was going to be divided by 3, and in each bimester we would do investigations about a different subject. Physics, biology, and chemistry being the subjects in rotation. Hiya! And with that, he resumed the lesson. I think we're doing Zack's route. But we're in the science club. Yeah, we're in the science club. The sky is really pretty today. I completely ignored the lecture as I admired the scenery. Then, after some time passed, I heard a voice from in front of me mumble, "Why are you here?" Sheesh! Nice to see you too, bud! Well, I like science. I wouldn't be here otherwise. He took some moments to answer back. Didn't you say yesterday you didn't like sciences? I did? I don't remember, actually. I didn't say I disliked sciences, just that I prefer something else. I didn't really want to join any club, but since I had to, I chose this one. He didn't respond, but there was a slight change in his physiology. He's very slightly untensed his shoulders as he took notes on the subject on the blackboard. A subject I'm 100% ignoring. Some of the sciences are fun. I smiled slightly. He couldn't see my face from the angle he was at, but hopefully he'd catch my cheerful tone. I expected him to answer me to keep the conversation going, but he kept quiet. I decided to take another approach to the situation. You know, I wasn't really into abstract sciences until recently. I had to tutor my brother because he was, well, an idiot. His worst subject was chemistry, and I ended up wasting hours and hours trying to teach an old dog some new tricks. Wait, does that count as racism? I have no idea. I still have no clue how we graduated from his freshman year. We ended up drifting apart around a year ago. As a result, I had more free time and, well, I found out they're actually quite interesting. Wolf looked as if he was ignoring me, but I could see that his ear was slightly tilted in my direction. I admire people who can do that, moving their ears on their own accord. It gives me chills every single time. Want to know why I think so? He didn't answer. The reason is kind of ironic now that I think about it. They are definitive proof that we are real, that we are predictable. Better said, sciences are proof that we have just followed a pre-established path for all our lives. But the information gathered over the years is proof that there's a very slim chance we can alter the original plans of life with the goal of taking advantage of it. Evolution in fewer words. Food, our sleep schedule, our ability to communicate. These are all clear examples of how one small variable changes our entire future in an instant. It's weird thinking about it. We are predictable until a small variable slightly changes. Then, the future of the entire species is changed forever by that small, meek variable. I didn't realize that at one point I'd lost my gaze in the sky. When I looked back, I saw Zack staring at me, completely ignoring the front now. Shit, what was I even talking about? Sorry, I have so many thoughts that it's difficult to explain. What I want to get to, I took a deep breath. In retrospect, we know almost nothing about us or about the Earth. We only have previous changes as a mere supposition of what might happen in the future. Oh my god. Does this kid ever shut the fuck up? But science makes me realize that we do know some things, and that experimenting with those things is looking for other truths about our role on this planet. Because are our lives really that linear? We evolved because of not being linear, though. Once I finished my attempt at being philosophical, I couldn't help but blush, embarrassed at my capability to communicate. Hang on, I'm grabbing a pillow. I'm going to hug a pillow. For the entire stream, I'm going to hug a pillow. And you all cannot stop me from hugging a pillow. And getting comfortable. Let me just position myself in a comfortable manner. There we go. I constantly write, yet here I am making a fool out of myself because I want to explain multiple ideas at once. My god. I've probably been saying so much bullshit without realizing it. I'm probably just rambling. He turned around to the front again, but I heard his rough, quiet voice speaking to me. You are more talkative than I thought. His voice didn't have any negative emotion. It was just a neutral statement. What can I say? I'm full of surprises. I'm as one-dimensional as it gets. Well, you are in this club for a reason, right? I tried to explain my reason. Don't you think it's fair that you tell me your motive too? Oh, is that a... It's a dog. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh, no? Okay. He left. He looked at the professor, who was unaware of this conversation. And that itself was actually a bit strange. We're very few people here, so you'd think it would be easier to hear if someone was talking. Zack snorted before turning to his notebook again, taking notes. His handwriting was really neat, a soft calligraphy style displayed on the notebook. You know, you spoke more about the philosophical side of things. Science is... We live in a never-changing scheme, whose underlying rules are generally driven by instincts. An example, we grow, we reproduce, we die. Science not only establishes that rule, but as time goes on, it also modifies it. We learn, we adapt. You and I are talking here. We are living proof that we are more than a linear pattern, like you said before. One day, I will know the limits of our nature. For the first time since I met, which was quite literally yesterday, I saw him smiling. A very small one, but it still counts as one at the end of the day. It's a bit funny, don't you think? Our predicament, he frowned. We are naturally driven by instincts. We know that, but we can change these instincts and natural patterns ourselves. What is the correlation with your fate as a species in evolution? Is there a god above that determines this? I already know the answer to that, but I don't want to seem delusional in front of him. Religion and science are not related. Religion is merely an excuse for mediocre people to find purpose. Maybe, but... The words got stuck in my mouth, but I refused to stop talking. The idea that there is more to us than just instincts is like saying that we are not animals. At the end of the day, leaving aside natural selection and all that, we are just animals. And that's the cold, unfiltered truth. Life is simple for wild fauna. They have the objective of reproducing and surviving. We're not that far off from them. We have simple goals and simple futures. We are animals, but the reason you and I here is a mere mistake. Was the initial evolution just that? A fluke? Or did some sort of god bestow their power upon us to correct fate? Can you please shut the fuck up? Fate. I don't even know anymore. The subject about life and death was one I talked about frequently with my brother. He used to say that our existence was a flaw from our ancestors. He was quite passionate about it too. Meanwhile, I defended the complete opposite point, telling him that life was more like a gift. He called me a pussy and laughed. After he left, I began pondering about the way he thought. Alright, I'm gonna try to crack my back. If I manage to crack my back, I will be happy. I will do a little smile. Just... Oh, fuck. Fuck. I did not crack my back. Ow. Ow. My back. If anything, it just hurts more. After he left, I began pondering about the way he thought. Do it, do it, do it. Mortifyingly enough, he wasn't that far off from reality. I want to know everything about our nature. I refuse to believe it was a fluke or some god took mercy on us. I wish to know the truth. As you can see... Oh shit, he's smiling! As you can see, I find the subject to be mind-blowing. I felt butterflies in my stomach, passionately explaining my feelings about this. Feelings that are all a complete mess. I hate talking about this, yet I can't help but get excited. I couldn't stop my mouth from speaking every single thought in my mind. How much do we change when we evolve? What is considered and what is not? What is conserved and what is not? Where is the absolute limit of change? I took a deep breath. There was a short moment where I saw him thinking, shaking his head slightly, robotically organizing his thoughts. I haven't let such philosophical thoughts out of my mind for a long time. Feels good to think in that way again. I don't think expressing myself would be this difficult, though. Let's hope he doesn't judge me so harshly. It's such a naive thought to think our limit is What are we talking about? Damn it, Amy. Damn it, Amy. Amy practically screamed, causing the 4 people up front to turn around. Turns out she had been dragging her seat from the front row since the teacher turned around. I don't know if I should be scared or amazed that she didn't make any noise at all. What's all that sound at the back of the class? He turned around and saw Amy's desk in the middle of the room while she was sticking her head in our direction. To say he looked pissed would be an understatement. You have 10 seconds to get to your real seat. Oh. moved to the front row, grabbing a new desk, then positioned herself where she had to. In a span of like 3 seconds, of course. The power of fear, am I right?
You entered this club willingly, so shut up and pay attention!
She's trembling. 20 minutes later.
See you in 10 minutes. Go stretch your legs or whatever you can do in 10 minutes. Wait, don't do whatever you want. No drugs or alcohol in the institution.
What about sex? A student smugly asked. The teacher just looked at him in disbelief.
If you find someone with standards low enough to do you, then yeah, you can.
Damn, motherfucker's gonna need some ice for that burn. Damn. Damn. He's gonna need some ice for that burn.
Not only will I be allowed to do it, I'll even give you $100.
Emotional damage.
Oh my god. God damn. Just W teacher.
That's how confident I am that you won't be getting any bitches today. Nor tomorrow, nor the month after that, nor the year after that.
Damn. Damn. I think it's clear that Richard gets all the bitches. Richard gets all the bitches. That is not bitchless behavior.
Maybe in a decade you can try bribing someone into it, but even then it will be faked.
He just murdered. He just murdered him out of nowhere. The kid looks like he's about to cry. Anyways, as soon as the class ended, Amy ran out the door, probably scared out of her mind. And looking at what I just witnessed, maybe I should be too. Thankfully, the tense atmosphere settled down once our classmate Brooke, the popular chick from yesterday, told him she was going to buy him ice cream. For the massive burn he received. Damn! He chuckled while scratching his neck, then they both left. Soon after that, I saw Zack walking quietly out of class with his hands in his pockets. Oh, wait for me! I trotted next to him. Yes? Well, Amy went somewhere, and I kind of want to be near someone. We don't have to talk, just being in someone else's presence helps me. I gave him a toothy grin. He shrugged his shoulders and took his cell phone out of his pocket. You know what? I'll take it. I'm being social. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Am I cheering myself too much? I wish there was an example of how to be positive with yourself. I know I said I wasn't going to bother you anymore, but where exactly are we going? There's a bench further down the hall. Being on the 5th floor, there's not much noise here. Sometimes I rest here. Oh, cool! I'm also a fan of places where there aren't many people. At my old school, there was a huge tree that had grown so big that its leaves covered the rooftop from the sun. My friends and I would hang out there from time to time. It was almost therapeutic. I have yet to find a replacement here at the school. I don't think there's a place like that. Everywhere you go, noisy people will be there. Damn! I miss my other school a bit, if I'm honest. No, that's not true. I miss what I had back then, not the school itself. Potato. What about you? Do you like the school? If I remember correctly, you mentioned this wasn't your first year here? He shrugged his shoulders. Being here gives you a good resume, surprisingly. That's been mentioned to me a couple of times, and I still don't believe it. Because the two teachers I have are both aggressive. Oh, which college are you going to? He shrugged his shoulders and avoided eye contact. I waited for his answer, but it didn't come. Well, I plan to stay near the city to help my mom. He, yet again, gave no response or acknowledgement. You said you were your brother's tutor, right? I smiled involuntarily. Yeah, he's our age. I also have two other siblings. They are twins and recently turned 8 years old. It's a boy and a girl. And then then the one our age is called Ethan. He's on an abroad program. My voice trembled, but he didn't seem to care. God, I'm such a liar. He won't be back anytime soon. I coughed to mask my feelings, then took deep, steady breaths to calm down. The point is, I want to be around if she were to need it. She has a bad habit of hiding everything, so if I leave, I know she wouldn't tell me if there's a problem. But hey, all for the family, right? He answered me with silence. So tell me, Z. Do you mind if I call you Z, by the way? Yes. What about Zacky? No. Wacky Zacky? No. Wait! If you look very close, very, very closely, you can see a ghost of a smile. Wacky Zacky? No. His little smile belied his words. I looked under the bench where his tail rested. Haha, it's moving. That's so cute. Does he like silly nicknames? What about Zack and Cheese? His tail didn't stop wagging, actually picking up the pace. That is the dumbest thing I've heard. Your tail says otherwise, sir. Do you like silly nicknames? He grimly smiled. They remind me of my sister. Oh, what does she call you? No. Come on, we've come this far already. How hard is it for you to say a little nickname? I bet she called you Balzac. He rolled his eyes. Shut up. For a moment I thought he actually got mad since he stood up and started walking away, but his tail was wagging faster now. Imagine if she actually calls him that. That would be so funny. Wait, where are you going? You've talked so much that the break is over, haven't you noticed? I took out my cell phone to check the time. Indeed, the 10 minutes had already passed. Zack walked ahead of me, deciding that waiting was too much of a hassle. Balzac. Because if you call him Wacky Zacky, there'd be a whole Ramsey on you and say, get out and fuck off. I totally don't have a Dr. Pepper addiction. We were back in class in no time, where we didn't talk, not even small talk. It was mostly because I stopped talking. I mean, I feel like if I forced him to hang out with me, he's going to get mad, considering he really likes this club. And so I didn't force it. For the last hour, nothing interesting occurred. The twins texted me to bring some cereal from the store because we had run out of it. I forgot to leave them something cooked, and since they didn't want to eat leftovers, they salted the cereal. I want to be mad, but 8-year-old me would have probably done the same thing. Also, Amy didn't come back from the break, and her belongings were nowhere to be seen. The day is finally over, I exhaled. You did not pay attention. I did! I swear! But yeah, I'm beat. I'm glad that we talked today. I was itching to hang out with you. Why? Why not? He didn't say anything. He just kept walking to the exit of the school. You aren't as chaotic as everyone else. I had fun talking with you. I hope we can resume our previous talk some other time. He shrugged his shoulders, but his very slow wagging tail betrayed him. It had a really cool fur pattern, little rays of red in the edges of its dark form. A part of me wanted to stroke it, but that would be really weird. As if noticing my stare, he started walking slightly tilted so it was now harder to see it. We reached the gate of the school quickly. Hey, if you want, you can add me on Pablo. Just search for Lucas Noir. He yet again remained silent. Well, have a nice day! I excused myself and started the walk to my house. Have a nice... Ooh, he said it! My little gay heart. Yeah, we already read all this. Yeah, it was fun. I ended up having fun, so I guess it was worth it. Nope. No skipping writing. Yeah, we already read, like, all this. Well, I was technically with you there. We didn't really get a chance to hang around, so I didn't get to ask you your opinion of the club. Are you really asking that? It was ass, she pouted. But, did you see the girl on second row close to the door? No, not really, no. I didn't even look at the blackboard. And she's called Brooke. She's a really good childhood friend of mine. We were besties in freshman year, but we didn't get any classes together since she started taking AP. She actually joined the science club willingly. Can you believe that? Amy, I think you're the only one in that room that doesn't want to be there. Finally. Some peace and quiet. My little pony, my little pony, ah, my little used to wonder what friendship could be, My Little Pony. Do you want to share its magic with me? Loser. I heard that, asshole. But overall, I think I'm happy I went to the science club. And that means you are staying in that club, right? Most likely, yeah. Hey, nice! You got to suffer with me! Yeah, that and the fact that it relaxed me for some weird reason. It relaxed you? The teacher's a major jerk. Did you see how he treated that kid? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. He destroyed that kid yesterday. If he knew you called him a jerk, he would chew you out as well. I wonder what insult he saved for you. I'll make sure to never find out. He scares the fuck out of me. Every time he looks at me, I'm scared of wetting myself out of fear. I meant pee, you weirdo. I felt like peeing myself. Why would I wet myself that way? 'Cause you're weird. I wouldn't put it past you. Dude. Yeah. I mean, yesterday was fun enough, so maybe I could try going again today. Go to the science club? Yes. Is it even a question? I ended up walking to the top floor once more, the hall now completely deserted. Yesterday was fun enough, so I don't think there's any harm in going again. I mean, it's a science club. What's the worst thing that could happen? My hand froze on the handle of the door, two high-pitched squeaks coming from inside. I steadily opened the door to see Amy's back as she jumped in place in a stereotypical girly way. Following her leaps, there was a slightly shorter cat wearing tight clothing. The rest of the students seemed to be watching them with either annoyance or peculiarity. The rest of the students, who were literally 3 other persons, besides a professor who hasn't arrived yet. I walked to my seat slowly. Amy was too focused talking to the other chick that she didn't even notice my stride. Oh my god! No way you did that, girl! Oh my god, is there drama going on in chat? Is there drama going on in chat? Oh my god! No way you did that, girl! The black cat blushed. I told you I did! I took a seat on the very corner of the room. The wolf in front of me exhaled loudly as I took a seat. I think he muttered something, but the girls were so loud I was unable to hear. They continued to talk really loudly. Every millisecond where there was silence was cherished. But unfortunately, they didn't hold back. And after a bit, I thought they were finally going to stop. Then 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Then 15. My only hope now is for the teacher to come and finally shut him up. He's really running late today. Hey, psst, Zack. The wolf mumbled while keeping his focus gazed on the scenery displayed in the sky above us. Do you think Dick will come today? He shrugged, still ignoring me. The sky sure is pretty today, isn't it? No response. I hope it rains. Rain's nice. After he ignored me yet again, I decided to leave my amazing thoughts to myself. As if on cue, the girls seemed to simmer down and finally noticed my presence. Oh, Lucas. Didn't see you there. Brooke, this is Lucas. This is the guy I was talking about? Amy whispered not so quietly. Ignoring that remark, I cleared my throat and puffed my chest, trying desperately to look cooler. Hi, a pleasure to meet you, Brooke. Brooke looked at Amy with a surprised raised brow. A pleasure. She showed me a sly, flirty smirk as she stepped closer to me. She was merely an inch away from touching me. The height difference made her breath land on my neck fur. I shuddered at the uncomfortable feeling. You are too close, lady. Actually, I have just the thing for that. You know what? Here you go. Brooke, you know what? You know what?
Woman, you're way too close.
You are way too close, lady.
Aw, Amy, look at him. He's all worked up for no reason. I can give you a reason to be worked up, though.
She took a step back and giggled. Surprisingly, the giggle was way deeper than I expected it to be. Like, she didn't go like... She's giggling like... It didn't come off as squeaky or annoying. It was really close to a chuckle, actually. I'm fine, thank you. I bowed and took a step back, impaling myself with the corner of my desk. I winced at the pain, but still sat down as quickly as I could. I completely turned my head toward the window. Please leave. Pfft, Lucas, are you okay? I refused to turn around, deciding to merely show her a thumbs up.
Aw, sorry, big guy. Amy told me you were skittish, and I just wanted to play a little.
She placed her hand on my shoulder, making a circular motion.
Amy, look! He's shaking!
I swear I'm not this much of a virgin, I just can't control it. Well, I am a virgin, but that's besides the point. Aw, is poor little Lucas bad with women? It's 'cause we're fucking gay. My face kept burning up as the giggles behind me intensified. I didn't trust my voice to not come out in a pathetic way, so I just stayed quiet. All it took was a little bit of teasing and look at me, already a mess. I need to work on that. Amy and Brooke started to engage in small talk, their voices slightly farther away now. That's good. I finally untensed and plummeted into my desk, resting my face against the hard piece of wood. Nice first impression, Lucas. Now they'll think I'm some sort of socially awkward guy who can't even introduce himself correctly. I thought I was doing better. You looked as if you wanted to cry. Oh shit, is that a full smile?
Oh no, he's hot!
You looked as if you wanted to cry.
Did you see how lame I looked? So embarrassing!
He chuckled lowly. The sound coming from the hall made me instinctively turn my head, noticing how the girls were still talking. I couldn't hear them as well as before, but I catch some very expressive hand motions and head tilts from my quick peek. They seemed to get along. Zack hummed in agreement. They were in my class freshman year. They wouldn't shut the fuck up. Our homeroom teacher back then was ready to murder them by the end of the year. Were the goat not as loud, they wouldn't have gotten in as much shit. Zack humphed and diverted his gaze from the duo, now looking at the very empty seat of the teacher. Shouldn't he have gotten here by now? No shit. He's half an hour late. The wolf seemed to get lost in thought, so I left him be. Then I saw how the two girls were looking at us from outside with goofy expressions, heads tainting the glass. Aw shit, I should go and try to make a better impression this time.
You feeling better, loser?
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry again. I didn't mean to make you that uncomfy.
She winked. It's kinda my fault. I need to work on my social skills. But hey, you seem cool. I'm really surprised you are friends with Amy.
What do you mean by that, asshole?
I couldn't help the shit-eating grin that appeared on my face.
Ha! She's a mess, but still decent.
I'm way better than you, thanks. You two met in freshman year, right?
Nope, we were childhood friends. But it was only on freshman year that we tried out for cheerleaders that we became besties.
Hey, yo! Ugh, I just cracked my neck.
Let me tell you, this girl over here was the most flexible out there. The captain hated her so much she didn't make the cut.
Screw her.
But yeah, that's how we met. Then around the first month, I joined the digital art club. She was also there. We even tried making a comic.
Oh, really? That sounds really laborious. It was. We ended up only releasing 5 chapters before we canceled the project altogether. She scratched her neck awkwardly, but still kept smiling. And one of the things this school does right is how they force you to do a project in your clubs. I mean, I now know I never want to try making a comic or a book, but I wouldn't have known if I wasn't pushed to do it. And it was really fun doing it with my BFF. They hugged sideways. It does sound really cool. Maybe I could give it a read. What's it called? I don't think I want to show you that. It's not exactly good. Hey, come on, I won't judge, promise. That's 100% a lie. Oh, shit.
It was a homoerotic vampire story that took place on the 1600s. Trust me. You don't want to see it.
Why does that sound awfully familiar? No. No way. Wait. My friend told me about a story like that around a year ago. She was really into it. Emma never had any girlfriends, so she always showed little old me her shitty fanfiction and webcomics. I, of course, always told her they were cringe, but in reality I'm a sucker for those poorly written love stories. And I'm taking this information to my grave. Nonetheless, the story I'm thinking of fits that specific description, but it could be one of many given that genre. I remember the protagonist was called Katniss, as in the character of that Hunger Games book. Oh shit, Hunger Games. Now, how do I ask if that comic is theirs without sounding like a fucking loser? Amy and Brooke were both whispering to themselves, waiting for me to question them about it. Nah, I'm not asking them. I have a feeling that that's their comic. It certainly felt as if the writing was done by teens. No, sorry. I think it was a different story than the one that I was thinking of. Amy sighed while Brooke huffed. Is it bad? I kind of wanted you to know. I mean that our comic was big enough to reach people outside our circle. Dude, if he did read this story, then he would have to read the 4th chapter. Do you think I can live in peace knowing he read all that? Yeah. Good thing it doesn't, though. Wait, I remember! Chapter 4 was when the prince had sex with the vampire for 20 scenes. The name of the comic was The Vampire's Arrival. Yeah, I'm not telling them I read that. Oh, is the story in SFW? Then I probably didn't read it. Liar! Good. Now, Lucas, I have to talk with Brooke about some girl stuff that would probably gross you out, so why don't you go chat with someone else for a bit? Heh, if she briefly gave it some thought, she'd realize I have no other friends and that she's leaving me to perish. But since her face looks seconds away from exploding, I'll give her a pass. Alright, I'll let you two be. It was a pleasure to meet you, Brooke. I hope we get to see each other in the future.
Ah, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you too.
I gave her a small, awkward hug before pulling away. She blushed. Bye, Amy.
Where's my hug?
Sweaty girls don't get hugged. Remember it for next time. I winked with confidence. She wasn't actually sweating, but she foolishly believed me, since she had an incredulous look and started blushing even harder. I rolled my eyes with a sigh. It was a joke. Don't beat yourself over it. I hugged her quickly. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Oh, there's no one here. Suppose the club got cancelled for the day. Well, I could either go home and start preparing the food or just go somewhere quiet to do my homework. I think there's a library somewhere. Go home or go to the library? Librar... R-R-R-R-R-B. The library... Garbar... Waka 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 bee. Well, I don't want to go home just yet. I also have to know where other places are besides my classroom and the gym. Also, the library probably has some air conditioner, and that is more than enough incentive for me to go there. Well then, better start looking for it. After mindlessly walking around the facilities, I ended up asking a guard at the bottom floor where the place was since I couldn't find it. It was in the adjacent building not too far from where I was, so I got there quickly. But the search was worth it since I ended up knowing where the rest of the facilities of the school were at. Also, the library did have an air conditioner. Combine that with the few people there, and bam, I got myself a new hideaway. I walked for a little bit, looking for a desk with a window nearby. Oh, there's Zack! I tapped his shoulder and waved. He looked briefly at my direction, then looked back at his phone, ignoring me. I took a seat directly in front of him, leaving my backpack by my feet. He didn't even spare a glance at me. May I help you? He took one of his earphones out as he talked. Oh, I just wanted to finish some homework and saw you sitting here. Just decided to drop by and say hi. Hi. The male greeted me with the most bored expression one could have. I'm busy. Leave. Hey, come on, at least try to make small talk or something. Why don't you ask me about my day? He ignored me completely. Well, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at math and I'm about to do tomorrow's homework. Maybe I can pass it along if I stay here. I smiled smugly. Zack sighed and put his second earbud back on, turning the volume so high that I could hear it from where I was. Oh. Okay. Well, considering that the guy seems pretty annoyed and I'm being pretty childish, I have two possible options. I could either A, leave him alone and follow the original plan of doing my homework by myself, or B, which is keep being annoying for absolutely no reason. I have no idea what it is about Zack, but I can't help but feel connected. He reminds me of myself for some reason, but why? Maybe, just maybe, the reason I want to keep getting to know him is because I, as a person, want to be more social and he strikes me as someone similar to me? Or maybe I'm just delusional. You know what? What's the worst that could happen? Deciding to keep being a nuisance, I dragged my chair to his left, barely an inch of distance between our shoulders. Did you know that if you sit down beside someone, you never really have to make eye contact? Meaning that I have to keep one less thing in mind in a conversation. Wolf turned to look at me, taking his last earbud out and placing his phone on the table. Listen, I don't know what made you think we are friends. Hey, aren't we? No. Either shut up or leave while I'm still asking nicely. With a final huff, he started watching the same video from before. Sorry. Well, that went well. While the male ignored me, I finally opened my notebook to do my homework. Where's the fun in that? I pretended to do it while trying to take some peeps here and there. I don't really know why I was so focused on getting to know him, but it's one of those really weird hunches that I can't help but follow. Wait a minute, what's going on with his hand? Oh, that's just his thumb. And if I get my ass beaten, then I can just blame curiosity. After roughly 20 minutes of me stealing glances his way, I noticed that he was watching a football game with strong intent. I don't watch enough football to know the name of the teams, but I recognize one of their logos. It was a bald eagle, and if I'm not misremembering, that's the team my dad supported before he passed away. Oh yeah, the name was literally the Beagles. And the other teams are the Dashing Devils. Guess I still remember some of it. The ending of the game was nearing, and the Beagles were down by exactly 3 points. I don't exactly remember how the plays are made, and all the strategy parts into it. What I do know is that in this exact situation, they shouldn't kick. They need the entire 6 points of the touchdown to take the lead. Still, I'm no professional, so I guess going for the tie is not a bad idea. Wolf seemed to notice me yet again. He growled as a response, his pearly white fangs showing. I also like football. I used to watch with my dad before he passed away. God, how long has it been? X years? Zack seemed to give up inside, tilting his head the smallest bit for me to see better. He then handed me the right earbud. The game was nearly finished. After one of the teams completed the kick and tied the score, the opposing team was preparing to do the last play. I assumed Zack was rooting for the Dashing Devils since he looked annoyed that this play was happening. Well, he always looked annoyed, but the grinding of his teeth was a clear signal. I'm so observant. His teeth were ridiculously sharp, which made me quite anxious. I mean, the guy could kind of rip out my throat if he wanted to. That'll definitely make the news, too. Teen murdered by schoolmate for being annoying. At least I'll get a complete page for myself in the yearbook. Tempting. The sound of a guy screaming as if his life depended on it brought me out of my unique train of thoughts of getting mauled by a friend. It was a quarterback who made a Hail Mary pass. He got tackled immediately after the throw. Again, I don't know too much about the strategy, but wouldn't it have been better just play safe and win in overtime? I don't exactly hate this play, John. Might as well do a YOLO since they don't have to have the energy to win an OT. YOLO means you only live once, Derrek. I bet my left nut that the guy isn't under 50. That's very interesting, Josh. Oh, would you look at that? The Dashing Devils have decided to bet it all, and as you can see, the ball is going really far. His voice surprisingly got caught off by the sound of the roaring audience. The ball ended up being catched just inside the touchdown area by one of the wide receivers. Holy shit, the viewers are shouting their ass off. I took the earphone out and put it beside Zack's hand. Wow, that was a really ballsy play. I looked to my right. Zack was actually full-blown staring at me, ignoring the game with a neutral expression. Have we met before? He tilted his head. Shouldn't you have asked me this on Monday? He slowly blinked as if saying answer the question. But no, I think I would remember someone with your fur pattern. I don't know what sort of realization he must have come upon, but he still had this look of disbelief on his features. Hey man, come on, quit staring. Does he think I'm a normal person that doesn't get flustered if stared at? Sorry. Must be imagining things. You can tell me if you'd like. He placed his earphone on the table and turned off his phone as he saved it in his pocket. He huffed and grabbed a math book out of his backpack. Oh, that's the homework I did after you berated me for no reason. Don't spout nonsense. I rolled my eyes playfully and passed him my open notebook. His suspicious face switched from my notebook to my face. What do you want? Huh? He closed my notebook harshly, throwing it to the ground. I got up and tried to put some distance between us, but he quickly followed through my actions, stalking slowly with a threatening aura. Wait, what's he doing? I asked, what do you want? You keep being a nuisance. Hey, buddy, why don't we calm down for... After I backed my way up to a corner, he grabbed my neck with an iron-tight grip, putting enough pressure on it to make me go into emergency mode. Placing both of my palms on my chest, on his chest, I was trying to push him away. The sound of my beating heart was preventing me from hearing the wolf's voice, his open mouth moving continuously. I'm sorry for bothering you. Just wanted to be friends, but I understand if you don't want to. You didn't need to assault me, asshole. Pushed past him and grabbed my backpack, then hugged it with all the adrenaline that begged to come out. I fought the urge to say anything else and left with a light jog. From now on, I'm staying the fuck away from that guy. Having Amy as a friend is more than enough for me anyways. I didn't feel sad nor angry enough to cry, but the blood rushing into my ears was enough to make me on edge.
The red flag says appear on the wolf.
I made a fool out of myself. I walked home trying to shake off the feeling of shame. Here's the thing, I would have actually started crying. Finally! Now I only have the shitty club left and the day is finally over. Amy talked a bit too loudly, and even though Dick was sitting at his desk at the complete opposite of the room, he heard her. He just inhaled sharply and clicked his tongue. I'm pretty sure he saw his mouth move, but I couldn't really confirm it since everyone in front of me started leaving their seats and walking around, covering my view of him. If he did say something, then my guess is a not-so-pleasant retort about Amy's intelligence. God, what does he want now? She glared at her phone. Is everything okay? Yeah, just something I need to take care of real quick. I see you at the club? Yep, see you there. She ended up walking away with a look of uneasiness. Well, there's no use staying here now that she's gone. You know, fuck it, that sounds like a good idea. Someone lightly bumped into me from behind, earning snickers from other people there. I looked back, watching some popular guys snicker while the guy in front of me blushed. He looked familiar. Hey. See, I kinda lost my footing there. Name's Lamb. He held his hand out in a formal manner. I shook his trembling hand. Lucas. He just nodded, energetically staring at me. Can I help you? He audibly gulped. Yeah, sorry. He scratched his neck sheepishly. You're new here, right? I nodded skeptically. What could he want? He has gym shorts. Is he scouting me to join his team? No, that's way too hopeful. Bully? Could be, but he seems a bit too embarrassed. It's best to play it safe and get on its good side. Yeah, I'm new. Cool. I just wanted to, meet ya. He awkwardly admitted. Okay, I can do this. I'm the most charming person on the planet. I'm charming. Oh, I'm flattered. I flashed him a smile. His anxious stance calmed. There's this party happening tomorrow, and I wanted to know if you, wanted to come? He visibly cringed at his choice of words, but still tried to play it cool. It certainly didn't help that his group of friends weren't very discreet in hiding their amusement from the situation. No, I'll think about it, but just letting you know in advance, I'm not exactly the life of the party. I guess I'll be the judge of that. Here. He handed me a piece of paper with his phone number. The paper was neatly folded. Feel free to call me whenever you want. Oh, hiya. I couldn't help but chuckle. That was kind of cute. Thanks, Lamb. I patted his shoulder in a friendly manner. I have to get going, but I'll make sure to shoot you a message later today. I'll be waiting for it. Well, see you later. Lamb nodded and turned around, still blushing. His friend group received him with laughter and snorts while Lamb shoved them off annoyed. Still, I didn't miss how he kept stealing glances at my frozen form as his friends dragged him away. And as soon as they were out of my sight, I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. God, I did it! I didn't stutter or say something dumb! I smiled giddily as I saved his contact. That was a first, someone asking for my number. He even invited me to a party. Who knew that getting hit on felt so good? Oh, and I can't wait to see Amy's reaction. She's gonna go crazy! I sighed dreamily. After steadying my breath, I was able to slightly calm down. Where was I? Oh yeah, club activity. Where am I going today? Do I try a new club or stick to the one from yesterday? Ah, shit. The headphone's unplugged. Yeah, we already know. The science club. Yesterday was fun enough, so I don't think there's any harm in going again. As soon as I arrived, I peeked my head over the door, seeing Dick, Amy, Brooke, and Zack in the classroom. Students from the previous days were either late or dropped the club altogether. Dick turned to look at me and grumbled, so I took that as a sign of approval and walked into the room. He was writing some subjects. Volcanoes, thermodynamics, freefall, energy, among some others. Amy was whispering with Brooke in the middle row, so I decided to sit near them. Hi. Sup? Hiya. How dare you steal my greeting? They whispered back. What are we supposed to be doing?
We need to start making prototypes for this year's science fair. Though we usually start working on these later on, the fair was brought forward due to recent events.
He turned around to face us, chalk in hand and a neutral expression. He's talking about the disappearance. Amy whispered.
Thanks for the clarification, smartass. I'm sure nobody would have figured it out.
Looks like someone's even moodier today.
First off, we have to vote for the subject we're going to be focusing on.
Brooke noticed my confused expression and leaned over. The way we do it here is that we choose one of the subjects. She pointed to the blackboard. And all the teams have to make their projects based on it. Supposedly, if all of us cover the same subject, it's going to force us to think outside the box and innovate. That doesn't sound practical. Brooke chuckled. It really isn't. Last year, we had basically 10 versions of the same project. Well, except for one team. Dick growled.
We do it, 'cause it works!
He slammed his fist down onto the desk. But does it really work? Dick's scowl intensified.
Regardless if you like my method or not, you will do as I say.
Brooke raised her hands in mock surrender. Whatever you say, prof. Dick started growling like a feral animal. Amy anxiously looked between the two of them, watching a middle-aged man shaking in anger and her friend trying not to laugh at him. Dick scoffed. Well, I think we'd be able to make a pretty decent baking soda volcano.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, Adams. Let's try to win this year and not settle with the bare minimum, okay? I know you kids are used to turning shit in, so I'll give you some motivation to do something worthwhile. If you manage to get on the podium, I will give you a B as your final grade without having to turn anything in. If you manage to win, I'll give you a perfect score as a final grade. Obviously, this only applies for your physics class.
But I already get those grades. Dick rolled his eyes again.
Well, excuse me, show off. But that's all I got to offer.
No, you can't. That's the voice I decided to give him, so that's the voice he gets. As that, Brooke had this glint on her eyes, one that said, I'm not done with you just yet. Give me an A in English, and then I'll actually try to win this stupid thing.
No.
I want you to look at everyone else in this classroom, Richard. I'm your best bet at winning the fair.
Answer still no.
Well then, deal's off. I'm sure you like the taste of defeat for the 4th year in a row, losing to that teacher you so love. What's his name again? Guilfoyle? Gabriel? Dick stood up and grabbed the chair he was sitting on, then proceeded to slam it into the ground. After he finished wrecking the chair, he started walking in a slow stride towards Brooke's desk, glaring daggers at the teen who tried her best to not lose the confident facade she had.
Repeat rule number 4 of this classroom.
Yeah, I remember. Calm your tits. She rolled her eyes. Let me make you a proposal. I'll make the... Do I want to add something to this scene? Do I want to add something extra to this scene? Oh wait, never mind, I don't have to. I'll make the best freaking project that will not only win with it, will also make the fucking news. I fucking love Brooke.
It'll be something that has never been accomplished before. Something that'll prove our superiority over everyone else, including him.
As soon as Brooke mentioned him again, Dick started to breathe heavier.
We both know I can do it, but it'll be incredibly taxing and time-consuming to truly make something spectacular. So tell me, why should I try my best when I don't want nor need the reward?
Dick's left eye was starting to twitch.
Since I can tell you want this badly, I'll make you one last counter offer. I want an A in all my subjects.
Absolutely fucking no!
Before I decline, think about it. Nobody would doubt me getting all 10s, and you would get your revenge. You'd also have to grade one less paper.
Dick never stopped glaring at her, face getting redder with each and every word that came out of her mouth. But shit, even though I had to give it to her, she looked confident.
How many classes are you taking this semester?
Lucky for you, I'm only taking 3 right now. One of them being AP English.
Fuck you.
Aren't you getting erectile dysfunction already?
My god. She is absolutely destroying him.
That's not what I fucking meant, you degenerate slut.
He huffed.
Also, my dick works fine. You can ask your mother.
Was his best comeback really, I fucked your mom?
I'll give you a perfect score only in English. You gotta earn the rest of your grades.
Yo, mama.
Brooke shrugged with a smile.
I mean, that's fine with me. But it'd be pretty unfair that I only get rewarded when the project is going to be made by my entire team, you know.
She nodded towards us.
Are you stupid? People will notice if your friend went from a D to an A.
Amy flushed.
Well, you know that I can win. You also know that I don't really care about the stupid science fair and winning. Especially after last year's fiasco.
Hiya.
So again, your choice. Either we win and you get to grade less papers, or you lose. Again, for the 4th year in a row.
We're gonna take a little ad break. Ugh. That I mean, like the ad on the video is going to be playing. The ad on the stream. Just taking a minute. Brooke is He kept silent.
What's your GPA, Adams?
1.8.
Amy muttered 1.8. She muttered awkwardly.
No way in hell. I'll do this. I'll pass her with a D on whatever class she fails. That's all I can offer considering her reputation in academics.
Brooke, with that shit-eating smile, was just about to speak before Amy beat her to it. Fine by me. Brooke stared at Amy and huffed annoyed, knowing that she could have gotten a better deal. Amy, who had just caught on, ashamedly looked away.
Then it's settled.
Nope, you still need me to help my 3rd and last teammate.
She turned to look at me and winked. I fucking love you. Dick glared at me.
GPA?
3.7, sir. Dick raised his eyebrow in surprise. Smile and don't falter, Lucas. Let the professional negotiate.
Same deal as Adams.
Nah, like he has a really good GPA. You need to give her more.
Don't forget your fucking place. If I say same deal, then I fucking mean same deal. Motherfucker.
Funny. I thought you were the Funny. I thought you were the motherfucker.
His eye ticked in one of the most creepy ways I've ever seen. A tick that connected the vein to his forehead with his eye.
I said same deal as Adams. If he were to fail a class, I'd pass him with a D. I'll pass him with a C, but that's all I can offer. Take it or leave it.
Dick started trembling from anger, already at his limit. Brooke noticed this and looked at me with an apologetic expression. Wait, why are you apologetic? This is still a win in my book.
Deal.
It's only if you win.
I guess I'm winning then.
You fucking better. I'm risking my goddamn job.
He rubbed his temples.
Take your break now. I need some air. Be back in 20 or something.
He walked out of the room with an aura of anxiety surrounding him. You are the coolest person I've ever met. I know. You're welcome, by the way. He must want to win pretty badly if he's willing to do this. Brooke hummed in agreement. Last year's science fair was quite the shit show. We would have gotten first, but ended up being disqualified for presentation of other researches as one's own, along with fabrication of data. Meaning, we believe the judges were bought out. I'm still so mad about that. We deserve to win. Still, Dick was the one who took it the worst. He tried picking a fight with one of the judges and almost got arrested for it. Oh. Anyways, that's in the past, and will now take precautionary measures to avoid getting the project marked as plagiarism. Before anyone could say anything else, the other person in the classroom came and sat next to us. Brooke raised her brows while Amy and I just glared at the interaction. Hi. Hi, handsome. How can I help you? Zack grimaced at the nickname and glared at her. It's only the four of us in this course. Dick will probably make me join you for the fair. Oh, I'm so sorry. You should know better than anyone else that 3 people is a maximum for a team. So, no. Get lost. Zack peeled his eyes in anger, dropping the act of being kind that lasted less than 3 seconds. Listen here. No, I don't think I want to listen. Good luck making the project by yourself. Zack muttered something, but I wasn't able to catch it. Then he went back to his seat all the way in the back of the classroom. It's been a while since I've seen you act like that. Last time was when we were talking about Bruno. Gross. Never mention him again. What's the matter? You don't like that guy? Oh no, Bruno's her ex. One of the biggest assholes I've met. You can say that again. But you've always been into these sorts of guys, right? Don't remind me of my dark era, please. I don't know why I like bad boys so much. Amy laughed. If it makes you feel any better, I can see why you date a bad boy. I mean, she strikes me as someone who would, especially with how she handled the situation with Dick just now. She seems experienced at handling angry men. Both girls raised their eyebrows in surprise, completely misinterpreting what I was saying. Have you actually dated a bad boy or bad girl? Nope. Never, ever do it. Not to discriminate or generalize, but I have not met a single bad boy that doesn't have sociopath tendencies. How many have you met then? Met? I don't know. Dated? Like 6 or 7, give or take. Were they hot? Yeah. Were they completely weird and out of touch with reality? Also, yeah. My type has changed a lot since then. She blushed bashfully. Oh, wait, since when? Why didn't you tell me? You didn't ask. They giggled like 12-year-olds. Wait, but, like, what is it then? Brooke blushed. You know, those geeks that are incredibly awkward, but cute. Why in the fuck would you like someone like that? They are complete and utter losers. Well, they're kind, respectful, and cute. Hiya. They also respect boundaries way more than a stuck-up jock. True, but most of them are, like, kind of ugly. Some of them aren't, though. You do you, I guess. I still like the musician type the best. They're so mysterious and romantic. God, no. They're usually fuckboys, are way more into music than into girls. They're still hot, though. Brooke sighed. Yeah. They laughed. Besides, the bad boy aesthetics. Do you have a type, Lucas? I didn't say that was my type. I said I could see you being into that. Still, what exactly is my type? Let's start with a simple question. Would I prefer someone taller or around the same height as me, or someone shorter? Which one? I guess the idea of having to look up at my partner is kind of nice. So I think that regardless of their looks, I just want to be with someone that understands me. But yeah, like that's ever going to happen. I think I'd like to connect with someone regardless of their looks, so I guess I don't have a type. I could tell them that I like guys, but I'll hold that information until I know them better, just in case. Ah, that's really cute. I smiled while blushing. Now that I think about it, I think it's really easy to make you flustered. The first day with introductions, you were a nervous mess. When Dick was annoyed, you were a blushing mess too. That's called not being able to handle your anxiety properly, not being an anime girl. Brooke snorted. If it makes you feel any better, I think it's cute. Thanks. See, there you go again. They chuckled lightly. Anyways, what do y'all want to do for the fair? I'm scared Dick will come before we decide on anything. Good call. I was thinking of maybe making an electronic fueled by renewable energy. Judges love sustainable crap. That's what I was going for. I was going for Chelsea from Fish Hooks. Because Chelsea is a mood. She's a mood. If not, we could also do a potato battery. Potato battery? Wait, I know about this one. It's when you use the acid in potatoes to make a reaction with two electrodes made of different metals. That causes electrons to flow from one to the other through the potato, producing power. I looked at Amy, who had a dumbfounded look, while Brooke had an amused smile. What? Basically, the potato acts as a salt bridge, connecting the anode to the cathode. Again, what? Potatoes can produce power through energy. How? I just explained it. Amy, I literally just said how it works. Wait, no, sorry. I meant to ask, how do you even remember that? I made this for my fair in sophomore year. I ended up making the project alone since my teammates didn't really understand it. Stupid idiots. You can actually make it in one sitting if you understand how it works. It's really not that hard. Amy owed in surprise. Did you, by any chance, go to the state finals? I was sick, so my team ended up presenting without me. It was actually my brother who presented it with a friend of ours. Must have done it really well since we got third place with something as simple as a potato battery. Which still makes me mad since I made the entire project on my own and they got the recognition. That makes sense. I have a really good memory, so I'm pretty sure I've remembered you from there. But still, you're the first Arctic fox I've seen, so it's weird I can't remember your brother from the fair. Especially since he won. Oh, Lucas is adopted. Amy. Oh. Brooke scratched her neck awkwardly. Don't feel bad, I don't mind talking about it. She smiled awkwardly in return. But yeah, you might have met him. He was a red dragon, pretty tall, used leather, brown hair, kind of an asshole. Wait, what's your surname again? Noir. Wait, are you Ethan's brother, the football player? Yeah, I'm surprised you know him. I saw him at the fair first, but met properly at a party later that year. He's a cool guy. How's he been? Haven't heard from him in a while. Oh, he's currently abroad. He got a scholarship on Germany. Sounded more like a question, but she didn't press on. Ah, well, I hope he's doing well. She pondered for a bit. So, was it you who made that battery? Yup. I knew that guy couldn't have made that battery. She smiled to herself. Still, you don't particularly strike me as a science guy. Brought a hand to my chest, gasping loudly. You wound me! I'd be nothing without my nerd persona. Brooke rolled her eyes. Still, good to know I won't be making this project alone. Before either Amy or I could interject, Dick came back to the classroom with a bored expression on his face. And one of the biggest cases of resting bitch face I've seen. Any of you got any ideas for the fair? We're thinking of maybe creating energy in a renewable way to power an electronic device. I think a potato battery being the main idea. Potato batteries are easy to pull off, but I like the renewable energy idea. He sat on top of his desk. We could make a project powered by hydraulic energy. Wouldn't it be too hard? Not really, no. To create hydraulic energy, we just need a turbine and a generator. I read an article the other day about using salt water as a power source. We're going to use hydraulic energy, then we could also try that. Everyone looked at me with questioning looks on their faces. Let's say, for example, we want to power a robot through the saltwater method. In order for that to work, we just need to make the device generate electricity using differences in salinity between fresh and salt water. Ah, you read that article from Matt. It looked pretty cool, right? It did look pretty cool, but I'm surprised you even read that. Only reason I've read those articles is for their free newspaper program. Yeah, it's really not that complicated, but since I've not tried anything like it, I'm a bit skeptical. What do you mean it's not that complicated? Isn't, like, creating energy really hard? I glanced at Brooke, who nodded with her head in a go ahead and explain it to them type of way. The process is called pressured retarded osmosis, also known as PRO. Shit, how do I explain this? First of all, pressured retarded osmosis is a membrane process that converts the osmotic pressure difference between freshwater and saltwater to electricity. Now, in theory, there should be a membrane in the center of this machine that is permeable for water molecules but impenetrable for salt ions. Would you look at that? My memory isn't quite bad. And well, I don't know much about the complete process, but in theory, we'd need to transport this pressure difference in the turbine, so it creates electricity. I looked over at Amy, who was completely baffled, not understanding anything I said. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't exactly understand this as much as I probably appear to do. But hey, if I can appear smarter by spouting useless info, then I will. I didn't understand a single word you said. Lucas could have... This is literally the exact opposite concept of water desalination, goat. It's not hard to comprehend. Zack walked in my field of vision, then he sat on the desk on my left. Amy didn't dare to say anything else, but I could see her annoyance towards the wolf. I put a hand on her shoulder. Hey, it's okay. If you don't understand this, I'm literally just recalling what an article said. I don't get much of this stuff either. She smiled shyly. If you want, I can try explaining what I do know again so we're all on the same page. This time with clearer explanations, of course. It's okay, but thank you, Lucas. I appreciate it. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. There's dogs. Brooke coughed to clear the air. Well, I think there's a radical concept with lots of potential. Brooke intervened, a joyous look on her face. Let's take this idea further, okay? Say we do follow through with this power source for a robot. Would it even achieve high enough efficiency to make it work? As long as we have a large enough membrane, then yeah, it should work. Amy mirrored my excited smile. I still have some doubts, though. I mean, I only know the bare minimum of this process, so if we encountered a problem, not only would I have absolutely no idea how to solve it, but we might not be able to find an answer online, since this is pretty new stuff. I mean, this is probably new stuff. Again, I don't know much about this shit. And, well, I don't really know if it's worth putting time on this when we could just go with something safer. I say we try this for about a week. If we find that it's too hard to actually develop an engine, then we can always start again.
It's time to drink water.
I saw Dick
It's
nod in
time to
approval.
drink water.
We have to do this. The judges will
It's
love
time
it
to drink
fairly
water.
easily. Fairly easily?
It's time to drink
The
water.
judges are biased against us for last year's stunt. Also, how does this count as something sustainable or noble for the environment? We're powering a robot. Zack shrugged. Let's just build a pro-powered electrical generator on a river mouth where fresh water and salt water mix naturally. Ah, yes, because the competition is held by a river and not in a freaking auditorium. Brooke rolled her eyes. You know, probably would have won last year if you had dropped this fucking attitude you seem to love. I'm giving you a possible solution. Don't complain like a bitch and help me think. Oh, what did you just call me? I said... Oh, wait. What's a river mouth? Do rivers have mouths? Amy nervously asked them, and I can't tell if it's because she really doesn't know or was just trying to take the attention out of the conflict. Brooke sighed and showed Amy a small smile, letting her anger wash away. It's a place where a river flows into a larger body of water, like a lake or sea. Let's ignore the river problem for a second. How do we be able to create and transport the Alright, I've heard enough. He cut me off. Okay, there's some ifs here and there, but I like the idea. Let's follow through with the 1-week experiment idea. I want you to do proper research about how this works and its implications alongside with its correlation in powering a robot. I'm expecting that you have this figured out by next class, by the way. So soon? Remember that the fair's been moved forward, so it's not going to be right before winter break, but sooner, so we have to be fast. He stood up and started stretching, his back making a satisfying pop sound. Now that we've made some progress on the fair, we can start the actual activity. The sound of a phone notification stopped the teacher from continuing. Immediately after, both Amy and Brooke stood up and grabbed their backpacks. What are you two doing? Don't worry. We told Dick and he's fine with that. We have an appointment. Don't take too long, I don't want you falling behind. And just like that, he sat back down. He sat back on his desk, pulling his phone out. Amy chuckled. You see, Brooke here asked me to... Brooke shot her a look. Amy quickly tried to backpedal. As Brooke said, we have an appointment. Brooke looked away, embarrassed from her friend's ability to lie. It's okay, you don't have to tell me. Will I see you tomorrow? We'll come back after the break, silly. Well, the official scheduled break. We're just going to pick up something from somewhere. Brooke sighed. You're lucky you're not that ugly. She rolled her eyes and turned to look at me. I have to pick my brother up from daycare and take him home. We shouldn't take long. Ask to come along or stay here. Come along with me. And the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and do so as we please. Come along with me. Okay. Oh, good luck then. Amy and I hugged semi-awkwardly. I'll see you tomorrow, cutie. She kissed my cheek. Wait. See you later, cutie. Later, girl E? And here I thought today was going to be the day that wasn't going to fuck up saying something embarrassing. Thankfully, Brooke looked outright amused instead of insulted. Amy, on the other hand, wasn't even trying to hide her shit-eating smile. Hey, I need to work on that. She brought a hand to her face, covering her mouth as she chuckled. I know. The giggle escalated to a full-blown laugh when Amy started chuckling as well. Well, lesson learned. Never play flirting again. Brooke grabbed Amy, who was laughing her ass off, by the arm before leaving the classroom. Their laughing didn't stop as they walked away, bothering all of the students in the halls, shaking and acting like drunkards. Then, once they walked down the halls, when they walked down the stairs, the hall was empty once again. I buried my head in my desk, groaning. On the bright side, even though she was doing it as a joke, I thought this was the first time someone openly flirted with me. Wait, no, that's not true. Lamb also flirted with me earlier. Damn, 2 in 1 day, let's go me. So the way they left did make me feel slightly bad. God, I can't fucking feel my face. Who the hell flirts saying girly? If I end up going to the party Lamb mentioned, I could use it to start practicing my flirting. But yeah, as if I'm actually going to go. Once I calmed myself, I looked up from the desk. Dick was smirking at me.
God, it's been a while since I've seen a kid make a fool out of himself. Thanks for making my day better.
He wiped a non-existent tear from his right eye. Jerk.
But now that they've left, it's only you two.
He shifted his gaze back and forth, trying to analyze the situation.
I assume the other students dropped out. Oi, Savis, did you ask if you could join them?
Zack grunted. Don't call me that.
I'm your teacher. If I want to call you by your surname, I will call you by your surname. So, did you ask him or not?
After Zack kept quiet, Dick turned to look at me expectantly. He did ask us.
And?
Well, Brooke said no. He rolled his eyes.
Grow some balls, kid. Don't throw a girl under the bus. You're a man.
I meant that Brooke is the leader of this team, I think. So if you want to make any sort of changes, you're going to have to talk to her.
It's my classroom. I don't have to ask her for shit. He's on your team. And before you start bitching, I'm the teacher, so what I say goes.
I raised my hands in surrender. I didn't say I didn't want him in the team. I just said Brooke makes the calls. But I wouldn't want him in anyways. Zack must have been giving him a look since Dick switched his annoyed look to an incredibly amused one.
Actually, since your two friends left for God knows what, why don't you two start talking about the project some more?
When he noticed my horrified expression, his smile widened. This guy's such an ass. Holy moly.
I like the idea of your water energy motor. Expand on it and bring a prototype for next class.
A functioning prototype?
I said pre-totype, not prototype.
He exhaled loudly when he noticed my questioning look. Dude, it's literally your job to teach me things, not judging me for not knowing them.
When making a project, you don't go in blindly and try to do it in the first try. You have to make some small prototypes and hypotheses to see if the project is actually worth it. There's some aspects to each category. We'll see them next week in your design thinking class, so I won't go too deep into it right now. But to summarize, once you have somewhat a clear idea of what you want to do, you need to start developing your prototypes. Think of a prototype as a small sample or model of a project to test its concept. Before you make these time-consuming samples known as prototypes, you have to verify if the idea is a good one. How do you verify it? With a prototype, which is a quick experiment to test if the ideas are actually good. It also serves as a data-gathering tool. Also, you can make a prototype in mere days, where a prototype can take months. As I said before, the fair has moved to a closer date due to recent events regarding our security. Why wasn't it postponed? I don't fucking know, but we're not here to ask why. We're here to win. So, I want the concept of your prototype following the scientific method ASAP. I'd prefer if you had the prototype up and running by next class, but that's unrealistic. So it's your job to make it realistic. I'll give you 10 minutes to knock your plans out. Any questions? I asked you if you had any questions.
No, sir.
Good. I better see you two talking and not wasting time.
He pulled his earbuds out of his pocket and rested his feet atop his desk. Might as well get it over with. Hey. Zack looked at me but didn't utter a peep. That makes it easier for me, I guess. So I was thinking, even if the four of us started working on the prototype right now, we wouldn't have it by Monday. We still need to research this pressure transport thingy. I still don't understand some things about how it works. So we're probably going to have to meet up this weekend to work on it. Zack's stoic expression slightly shifted to one of annoyance before going back to neutral again. Such a pleasant person. Can we do it online? Maybe for the first session we're going to need to make an actual tangible engine. So we're definitely going to need to meet up for that. Anyway, since Amy and Brooke aren't here, it's kind of pointless to try making plans. But we can talk about the project. Oh, what do you think about it? Now I'm a patient individual, but he's starting to get on my nerves. Considering that yesterday the guy got all pissy for no reason at all. He even threatened me physically. I asked you a question, you could at least have the respect to answer it. Zack arched his brow, but I could see a small daring smirk on the side of his face. But he kept quiet, daring me to escalate this. The small feeling of annoyance grew. Listen, I know we're not on the best terms since you are quite the difficult person, but we have this thing we have to work together for. I'm not asking you to be my friend, I'm asking you to be cooperative with me. Oh, hiya. Yeah. And to stop being an asshole if possible. Zack snorted cockily. Never talk to me like that unless you want to get your ass beaten. And I don't want to be near you, nor your lousy, disgusting friends. Now give me your phone. Excuse me? He rolled his eyes. Did I stutter? I said, give me your phone. Fuck no! He rolled his eyes and sighed. We're going to do this, okay? He pulled his phone out of his hoodie pocket. His hand was gripping it with such force that his veins looked ready to pop out of it, while his razor-sharp nails were digging into his poor, poor phone. You said it yourself. No use talking if your friends ain't here. Now add your number. He demanded with a tone that made me want to throw his phone out the window. Nonetheless, I listened to the rational side of my brain and typed my number in. Zack pressed the call button and immediately hung up. Now that you have my number, could you kindly fuck off? Such a pleasant person. He glared at me while shifting his gaze to the front of the room where I was seated back to where I stood, wordlessly inviting me to leave him. Asshole. Zack inhaled profoundly, his face trembling with anger. I'm sorry. I couldn't quite hear that. What did you fucking say? I called you an asshole. Which is the truth, by the way. I saw from the corner of my eye that Dick pulled his earphones out while discreetly looking at us. I hate confrontation, but not as much as stuck-up pricks with no reason to be rude. You have no reason to treat everyone like shit. I've met you for like a week, and I've already seen your whole personality. Not to count... Oomph! Oof! Zack grabbed me by the collar of my shirt, raising me off the ground while putting me an inch from his snarling face. Then he slammed me against the classroom wall, the impact making an incredibly loud sound, probably bothering the adjacent class. Still, the slam made me see red. Adrenaline started pumping and my breathing got louder. Look at you! Your immediate answer is violence. How pathetic is that the moment you feel threatened, you start lashing out. Physically. You don't know shit about me. He slammed me against the wall. Harder. Repeatedly. My back was taking all the hits, but still, I felt no pain due to adrenaline. I clenched my right fist and mustered all of my strength. I landed a clean hit on his cheek, the contact hurting my knuckles. Zack lost his grip on me and dropped me into the ground. He immediately got up and threw a punch in my direction. Shit, I barely managed to dodge his punch with a duck, his fist colliding against the shelf. What happened next seemed to occur in slow motion. As soon as his fist hit the shelf, he decided a perfect angle to strike a powerful blow, right on the side of his stomach. Which one? I'm just going to say this. Fuck Zack. With his side exposed, I ended up pushing him roughly, making him lose his balance and fall into the floor. Started to run towards the center of the room, but quickly fell into the ground as a hand gripped my ankle and pulled hard. Managed to put my hands as a support before falling, minimizing the damage. Still, my wrist would end up hurting like a bitch. I watched Zack crawl at me with a crazy expression on his features. I ended up crawling back into the center of the room where I knew Dick should be, hoping that he'd intervene before I get murdered in cold blood.
All right, that's enough. You!
He glared at Zack.
You know what the principal said. One more fight and you're done for.
Zack scoffed, still glaring daggers at me. I hid behind our teacher's back.
I'm incredibly disappointed in you, Zack. You have a bright mind but refuse to be a decent person. I saw what happened. You threw the first punch.
I couldn't see Zack from my point of view. I can't imagine Dick's glaring at him. Zack's breathing started to slow down after maybe 2 minutes. I couldn't see his face from my angle, but I'm guessing he's finally calmed down. Dick sighed and turned 180 degrees, also looking at me with a disappointed expression.
God. You, follow me.
He nodded to the hall, where Zack followed him with a neutral expression. Not a fearful expression, not a regretful expression. He just looked bored. Which made my blood boil again. Some time passed. I heard their voices from outside the room, but I paid them no mind. I was currently trying to figure out why the hell did I do that, provoking him, knowing perfectly well that he'd get all riled up. Mom would be incredibly disappointed. I couldn't help but groan. I feel a combination of shame, embarrassment, and to some degree, pride. I just hope I'll be able to shake off these feelings soon enough. The classroom is completely empty. The contrast of one moment to another was incredibly noticeable, making me even more subconscious of my actions. Amy shot me a message not so long ago informing me that they weren't coming back since she had a family emergency, and Dick was talking with Zack just outside the classroom, so now the only sound in here is my breathing along with the whirling wind. After standing dumbly in the center of the room for some time, I decided to go to the back corner of the classroom where I usually sit during normal classes. The sound of the whirling wind never failed to relax me. If you focused hard enough, you could hear the occasional bird chirping. I looked to my left, gazing out of the window to the amazing scenery. That's one of the best things about having a classroom on the top floor. Nothing beats the view. A brown bird rested on the edge of a nearby window, chirping occasionally. It started pecking in between the frame of the window, trying to grab a crumb of bread that had somehow gotten stuck there. Since its beak wasn't exactly small and narrow, it was near impossible for them to grab it. But they still didn't give up. They battled trying different angles, but they just couldn't grab it. I opened my backpack and then grabbed my half-eaten sandwich, tearing a part of it to give it to the bird. I got up and slowly got to the window frame. I didn't want to scare him, so I took my sweet time. Once I was near it, I ducked so I wasn't visible to the little guy. And ever so slightly, I raised my hand with the piece of bread. Once I knew the crumb was in place, it was in a place he would see it, I retracted my hand. I stood up and went back to my seat, watching the bird intently. Whether he was extremely curious or I was too stealthy, he didn't notice me. It took him a bit to realize that another crumb was there, but when he saw it, he approached it. The sound of the door slamming against the wall was enough to make the bird flee. So close.
Alright, we have like 5 more minutes before the period's over. Zack, is there anything you want to say?
Zack shook his head. Dick sighed and looked at me.
Why do you look like you're about to cry?
I did?
God, it's just a fight. It happens. Just apologize and leave it in the past.
I probably looked that way because I did because of the bird, but I'm not going to correct him. Sorry for escalating things. Dick shot him a "don't test me" look before nudging Zack in the shoulder. Sorry.
God, you two are like children.
Sir, sorry, sir.
This ain't the army, kid.
He glared at me and went to his desk.
Tell your friends to not come back. Class is over anyway.
Oh yeah, there was a situation and both of them were required at their respective homes. I was told to notify you. He arched a brow.
What's with you? Don't talk like that.
Sorry, sir.
Don't apologize. Jeez. God, don't look like you're going to cry. Tell me you're beaten at home without telling me you're beaten at home.
What does he even mean by that?
That was a joke. You don't have to make that face. Unless, are you beaten at your home?
No, sir. How the hell did you even reach that conclusion?
Then why are you reacting like this?
Because of you! You're being weird. I'm not sure I follow, sir. He sighed.
You know that if you're suffering from domestic violence, you can tell any of the teachers and we'd be happy to help.
Sir, I'm not being beaten at home.
I'll be keeping a close eye on you, kid. You know, I dropped out of criminal justice. I was going to be a great fucking detective. Always been the best at spotting a liar.
Okay. He narrowed his fiery glare on me, trying to catch something. The only thing he's going to catch is my anxiety. And shame.
I'll be keeping an eye out for you. Finally! What a long day. Be sure to work on the project.
I nodded.
Oh, and Lucas? You did good in fleeing the fight. Both of you could have gotten injured, and it was a responsible thing to avoid eye contact. conflict. And as your teacher, I'm forced to tell you to never pick a fight on school grounds again. But you don't strike me as a fighting type, so I won't. Take care, kid.
He walked out of the classroom, leaving me to gather my thoughts. I can't wait to go home, shower, and forget everything that happened today. As soon as I got into the hallway, I heard my ringtone. Hello? Sorry for not coming back. Is everything okay over there? Yeah, all's good. Are you okay? Well, my uncle had a car accident, but fortunately he didn't break anything. Brooke was kind enough to take me to the hospital. I could imagine her pouting. Sorry I had to go through that. I'm glad everything's okay, though. She hummed in agreement. Did something interesting happen while we weren't there? Kind of. I'll tell you tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, were you aware of a party happening? Unless you're talking about the jocks one, then no. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, it's a tradition thingy, the annual pool party. There ain't no way in hell they letting us in, LMFAO. Well, the guy invited me and I don't really want to go alone. Also, the guy didn't mention anything about a pool, just a party. Who the hell even has a pool inside a house, by the way? That's a waste of money. Anyways, I was also thinking of doing some other stuff with my family, but I wanted to know what you were doing to make a plan. I still want to take my mom to that fancy restaurant. Oh my god, Lucas, you weren't joking. If you can squeeze me into that party, I'll owe you big time. My mom was probably not going to let me go since the disappearances and all. But I could sneak out. And OMG, I have the perfect swimsuit.
Thank you so much. I'll let you go, Lucas.
I'd like to remind you that I still don't know if I'm going. I'm just telling you in case. We're going! Anyways, I have to go. Mom's staring at me weird. See you tomorrow. After she hung up, she sent an emoji of an excited bird jumping uncontrollably in our private messages. Okay, then. Fuck my life. My little pony, my little pony. Ah, my little pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be, my little pony, until you shared its magic with me. I watched Bluey. Cute. I pocketed my phone. Even though the day's been pretty shitty, talking with Amy just now was enough to make me feel better. It helped as a reminder that I now have a friend that cares about me, and even if I had a bad day, they'll be there. See, Bluey is just so good. They recently released like 10 more episodes on Disney Plus, and I loved it. I watched all 10 of them in a single sitting. That's how much I enjoy it. Like, I will watch an entire season in one sitting. And I have watched an entire season in one sitting. Day 4 and... Should we leave off here tonight? I also like the fourth wall break. Oh my god, yes. Yeah, should we leave off here tonight? Oh, okay. After maybe 5 minutes into my walk back home, I heard my ringtone. Hello? Lucas, how's it going? I'm really tired, but I had fun in my club. What about you? Well, my uncle had a car accident, but unfortunately he didn't break anything. A friend of mine was kind enough to take me to the hospital. Oh shit, sorry I had to go through that. I'm glad it wasn't anything severe, though. She hummed in agreement. Did something interesting happen in your club? I could use a bit of a distraction. Nico and I ran around the park near the front gate. I think he's going to try for a new team tomorrow since the club might dissolve. Oh, why's that? A guy dropped out of the team, so we don't have enough players for the team. I mean, we could try looking for another player, but Nico and our coaches were pretty negative about it. So I might have a free day tomorrow. What do you mean? Oh, shit. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to ask. I'm just going to go up here. You know what? A less dream. What is the thing for the next scene? Because I can just jump there. I can just jump to the next scene if you know the variable. Actually, you know what? I can just check it. I think this actually Zack and day 4 on Renpai. Okay. Alrighty, it's Shift O, jump, Zack, and day 4. Damn it, I misspelled it. As soon as I got into the hallway, I heard my ringtone. Yeah, we already read this. Did something interesting happen while we weren't there? Yeah, we already read that. Yeah. So yeah. Hang on, let me actually check to see if there isn't anything. Yeah, let me check because, like, I like to go through game files. I'm weird like that. Find it fun. Alrighty, so it's, Zack Week 1. .rpy. Let me check. So if I go all the way down. Yeah. Yeah, it looks... Yeah, it looks like we're done. Yeah. Anyways. Stay safe. Have a good night. And I will see you all tomorrow.